Oh yeah.
That was a
Well,
fun one.
it's kind of like how I get to play Smash Bros. Like 5 months before release because my dad's in the industry, so it's kind of along those same lines.
What does your dad do?
He makes
Is he like a
games.
part of a lynch mob or something?
I think he's like the boss of Nintendo. Um,
Which Nintendo region?
Nintendo. No, just like Nintendo.
Oh,
He's the boss of it.
the the boss.
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
big boss, and
boss or
yeah,
bust?
he gets me the games early. So like I got to play the Wii U before it was even like released.
Oh, really?
Like it
Wait.
was like back in 2009. Like people were just
Oh,
enjoying Uncharted 2, but I was like, hey, I just got to play the Wii U. You won't know about that for a couple of years.
what was it like playing Wind Waker HD back then?
Oh well, I mean, that wasn't even an idea until like my dad actually asked me if they should go ahead with it, and I was like, yeah, I think that's a
Are
cool
you
one.
serious?
Yeah.
Why'd you say Wind Waker HD over Skyward Sword? You might as well make the HD remake before the game's even out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they offered me like there was like two options. It was either Wind Waker HD or it was going to be Super Monkey Ball HD. So
Oh,
I
I would have
mean,
chose Super Monkey Ball.
for some reason, the third party developer he just wanted to get in on it. But yeah, Wind Waker seemed like the more logical choice though.
No, I get that. Yeah.
They were actually all leaning towards Super Monkey Ball. They were like Super Monkey Ball is like a much larger franchise and everything. It was like no, Zelda's gonna make a comeback. I know it's like really low sales.
Yeah.
So I had faith, and ultimately it pulled through because that was the best selling like Zelda game in history, I think. But that's just what my dad told me. So
Oh, okay. Is your dad Asian at
he's the
all?
boss. No, he's the boss of Nintendo. So
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, that's my favorite American company.
yeah. Yeah, he's the boss of it.
Well, aren't they in Seattle though? I mean, what does your dad do? Being a New Jersey veteran.
He's just the boss of Nintendo. So
Oh,
yes, so yeah,
so he does it all over email or Skype? Like, what?
I get the games early. Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
he's the
oh.
boss.
Okay. He's the boss. Okay. Yeah. No, I get it now. Okay. I see. I see what you're spitting.
Yeah. Like I got to meet Sakurai a couple times before.
Oh, really?
He was like
How
bowing.
big is he?
He was like bowing to me when I met him. It was really weird.
How big is he?
About 6 inches.
Wow.
Pretty
For
good.
Japanese? Oh, wow. Wow. Impressive. Now, did he, pull any funny business over there? Like, was he monkeying around in your pocket? Oh,
Well, ultimately, I picked Wind Waker HD over Monkey Ball HD, so there wasn't really that much of that going
how
on.
come there's only those two choices?
Well, they looked at the two best-selling GameCube games, so they went to those two.
But wasn't Smash Bros. Melee
No,
more?
no,
But Sakurai was
my
there.
dad's the boss. My dad's
Okay,
the boss of Nintendo, so I think he would know.
I get that, but
He's in the industry.
according to video game charts, Super Smash Bros. Melee was the best selling.
Yeah, my dad was actually talking about that the other night. How they rigged like the data on there to make it like look the way they wanted it to look, but it's in reality they're just trying to inflate the sales of series that actually need sales. So they see that Mario's at the top of the charts when it's really one of the lowest selling franchises, then they hope that'll get them more sales. So it's kind of that reverse psychology thing.
Um, oh, okay.
So yeah,
Um,
my dad's the boss, so of Nintendo.
well, my uncle's the janitor.
Oh, uh, I don't
So
know.
does that mean I...
Huh?
Okay. Does that mean I know him, or...
Was your dad the janitor or
You
a second
know, the
citizen sound?
janitor cleans up the mess that
Kind of sounds
your
like you're making.
dad
I
makes.
think he's trying to make it. You're trying to make it sound like you're trying to compete with my dad now. I think that's.
Well, mine can beat up yours.
It's like you're trying to turn this into a competition because
Yeah,
my
he'll
dad's
mop
the
you
boss
away.
of Nintendo, so he got me to play Smash Bros. Early, so we can settle this in Smash Bros. Right now. I got the advantage.
So,
But my dad,
when you met Sakurai, was that before or after he was lynched?
I don't know what you're talking about. My dad's the boss. He said that never happened though.
Yeah,
They
but was it
saw,
before or after?
he saw the article, but it was all fake.
It was on the same site that Nick posted the link to linking Bush with Bin Laden.
Uh huh.
Was that same site? Okay.
Yeah, my dad's the boss though, so
Oh,
that's where we're at.
okay. Well, according to video game charts, Wind Waker is the sixth best-selling Zelda game. Right behind A Link to the Past, Phantom
Oh
Hourglass,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
first one,
I don't know.
Princess, Ocarina of
I
Time.
wasn't saying that Wind Waker is the best selling Zelda game. I was saying that Wind Waker HD was the best selling Zelda game. Yeah, you might have just got that confused.
Oh, I apologize. I, I didn't mean that.
No
That
problem.
happened.
Like that generally happens to people that like don't have dads in the industry. It's just kind
Hmm.
of it happens.
I mean, granted, it says that the HD one is the 20th best-selling Zelda game behind the Minish Cap,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure
and
that's what it's
it
something.
just sold better than the NES, or no, the Game Boy Advance port of the NES Zelda.
Sure,
Uh,
that's what it says on there, but I mean, again, it's a bit flipped
well, you
around.
also have to keep in mind it came out in 2013. Um, the internet was a little bit different back then,
Yeah, you gotta consider
and
two things. First of all, it's like rigged to make their company look like, I mean, my dad's company look better, And then second
to
of all,
look better.
you have to consider inflation. So when you take into account inflation, Wind Waker HD like skyrockets above all the rest. So
Is that in terms of...
like if you knew anything about the economy, like my dad's in the industry, so he knows. But
So it's kind of like, well, how's Nintendo competing against Sony? Since The Last of Us is one of the best-selling games of all time.
oh well, no, Nintendo doesn't really compete with them. I heard it's more like a partnership. I think.
It's a partnership? Oh,
Yeah, I heard they're actually. I mean, this might just be a rumor
but
at this
your
point, but
dad's the boss, so he should know, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah. My dad actually
Unless he's
he
not
gave me
actually the
he gave me the console.
boss.
Yeah, he gave me the console. Actually, it's the crossover console for Nintendo and Sony that's coming out like 2019. So
What's it called?
that's looking forward to. What's it called?
Mm-hmm. The Playbox?
It's called Wii
Play
Play.
Cube?
It's called Wii Play.
We play?
Yeah, like WII space play.
Never heard of it.
It's
Um,
they took the play from PlayStation and threw it at the end of Wii because
but shouldn't play go first
they had
because
to keep the Wii brand.
P... But doesn't Play Wii make more sense? Because P comes sooner in the alphabet than W.
Now, 'cause they had to keep the whole like Wii branding going on, so they wanted
Why
to
didn't
always
they call it
put
the Wii 3 or
Wii first.
the Wii UU
It's really the same reason they called it the Wii U. Is they just
or
wanted to get
the Wii U 2, but it's spelled 2 as TO, not the number 2.
with like Dumb and
Wii
Dumber
U 2?
too.
Yeah. Or no, Wii U 2, but
Yeah, it's looking to
TOO
be a
because
good console.
also it's also the Wii U. 2. Wii U 2.
Yeah, there's actually like a new game coming out. It's a crossover between Zelda and Uncharted. It's called Uncharted Hyrule. I played a little bit of that. They actually
Is it
have it.
good?
They have like the alpha form. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably only my second favorite Zelda game, so it's not that great. But
Oh,
I think it's
the second one's not. Okay. Alright.
yeah.
It's weird to think considering that PlayStation's doing better than Nintendo.
Yeah,
You
it's a
would have
lot.
thought they would be under
It's
high
a lot.
horse.
It's a lot to handle considering like Sony's in the bottom of the market right now. But
I mean, I could have
yeah,
saw that if
Nintendo actually, yeah, they lend up.
Xbox.
Nintendo extended their hand out to Sony, and they basically saved them from bankruptcy with this new console that's coming out. So Sony's kind
I heard
of just like Nintendo got Sony in this.
rumor on the street has it that Phil Spencer wants to buy Nintendo.
I know my dad's the boss in Nintendo. He would never do that.
But you already merged with Sony.
Yeah,
I would have assumed after that you would want to merge with
it's,
Xbox, right? That way you can have a monopoly.
you would have all of them. But then what comes into play is that so my dad says that if you go that far, because he knows he would be able to buy pretty much any company in the industry at this point and absorb them into Nintendo. But he knows that will just bring a whole bunch of lawsuits, and it might mean the destruction of one of the other companies as part of the lawsuit, and he doesn't want to do that to them. Then, like, Nintendo would never be harmed in any of this, so he's just looking out for the well-being of others.
Can I ask your dad a question?
I mean, he's not right, and it's not here right now. He's kind of the boss of Nintendo. But
Okay, well,
ask
can you
him
relay
one.
this message to him?
Yeah.
I want to know what he thinks about this article. So the article is called Arya Stark Proves Kids Today Can't Handle the 80s Nintendo. Um, can you ask him what he thinks about that? Can you?
He's actually a Fine Bros fan, and he's also a Game of Thrones fan. So that's like one of the worst articles you could possibly bring out to him. I don't think I really want to do that. So
Why not?
he,
Come on,
I mean, he kind of
come
respects
on.
brilliance. So he respects brilliance when he sees it. So he's not going to disrespect
Tell
it.
your dad to get off his ass and bring over Yokai Watch 2 to North America, please. Come on.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. And he's my boss.
Tell him to bring Labyrinth no Katana to North America, please.
You know, he was
Tell
actually
him to bring Slime Mori Mori 3 to North America,
you know,
please.
he was actually going to put Captain Rainbow
Tell him to
in Smash
bring.
Bros.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he asked me, and I said it was a bad idea.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why would you.
Well,
Why would you say that?
he gave me the options. Again, he gave me the ultimatum of two options, and it was between Captain Rainbow and Duck Hunt. So, I mean, it was the logical choice. So,
Um. Again, that sounds like a terrible, terrible decision you made.
well,
Like,
then he gave me the option. It was a DLC. He was gonna say, let's do a Captain Rainbow DLC. And I was like, no, I don't think we should do that. We should do Wolfgang Mozart as an option, as well as I think bring back Solid Snake too. Now that
and lynched Miyamoto, is that an option?
Lynch,
He just he lays there and chills, right?
yeah, Solid Snake's gonna be in the DLC though, since now they're
Well, what
partnering
does
up.
your dad prefer? All right, does he
He-
prefer the PlayStation 1 or the Nintendo 64? And you know what? I'll even throw the Sega Saturn in there. What's his favorite of the three?
I mean, ultimately, he's Boston Nintendo, so I think he prefers the Nintendo Entertainment System because that's kind of our
Oh, well, that's not a choice that I brought up.
my dad's a
PlayStation
Boston
1,
Nintendo, so I wouldn't
Nintendo
really give any.
64, or Sega Saturn.
I mean, I wouldn't force these options on me, knowing that my dad's the boss of Nintendo, and he could get your dad to lose his job. So I wouldn't, I would, I wouldn't make me choose out of this stuff. But,
Personally, I prefer the PlayStation 1 because of the polygons and the color of the
excuse me.
console. And I like the CDs. They're they're good
You can see these
frisbees.
nuts.
And the jewel cases and
Yeah,
the
well,
multiple CDs.
Nintendo tries to break the mold really, and it didn't want to like conform to the masses at that point. So we waited until the GameCube, and even when the GameCube came out, it used tiny discs. You know, the tiny discs were
It's
the
because they didn't need to compensate for anything. Right?
I mean, they were just trying to set themselves apart, you know.
It's not like it's a bench where you're trying to like, if someone's sitting in the middle, you don't just sit right next to them. You have to sit all the way like in the corners so you're not touching them. I mean,
What?
there's no need for that. I mean, what's Nintendo doing?
Oh man.
What's your dad doing?
Ultimately, like Nintendo's projected to make about like $5 billion in the next 2 years, so it's pretty cool.
That's really good considering that they have $12 million total in the bank.
Yeah. That is what makes it really good. So we're excited for that. My
You
dad's
should tell
actually
them to donate all the money to charity.
he's gonna buy me a couple cars this next year. I heard.
How is Ebola gonna affect Nintendo? Just out of curiosity.
Ultimately, that's it's not really an issue for him. They've actually made a cure, but we're only really seeing it to Nintendo employees, so we kind of got that on lockdown.
Do you use Mocha
So
controllers for the Android device at Nintendo?
no,
Or is Nintendo going to be putting out any mobile games?
no, we actually, as soon as you walk into the Nintendo headquarters, you're supposed to smash your smartphone in half and only use your Nintendo 3DS when you're in the vicinity. So
Oh, so it's kind of like the museum app where remember your dad put out that museum direct?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that, and you can just like navigate.
It's like
Okay.
that, or we just kind of like force any visitors into using like only our products. It's kind of what we do there.
Okay, so let's say I need to send someone a text message. I have to use the Miiverse messaging system instead.
Yeah,
And
it's
I can,
actually
there's
it's a
no voice chat either, there's no calling, only video chat.
it's a great system, really. It's just ultimately at that point, Nintendo, you know, as a whole, it tries to encourage couch co-op. So in a way, it wants you to be there with the people you would otherwise call or play online with, so to speak. So like, if you want to call someone, we figure they might as well be right next to you. Like in the same way we made Smash Run only playable with the people around you, it just gets you around people more. You know, it gets you to be more social because overall gamers like they can't communicate with people usually because they're
Hmm.
mentally disabled. But we're trying to come past that with our Nintendo fans. You know.
That's really kind of you. Um,
Hmm.
Now, if that's the case, does that mean that your dad's mentally retarded?
Absolutely not. Uh, any Nintendo fan is kind of immune from that term. So
Oh,
it's only like gamers that play
now let me
only
ask you a
Xbox
question.
kind of thing.
How
Yeah.
many children have gotten raped under your dad's watch because of him slacking over the Nintendo Wi-Fi terms of service?
Briefs.
Yeah, due to
That's
like
something
communication between pedos and children.
that's something we struggle with. There's There's been about 5 cases in the past 5 years.
Wow, once a year. That's not good.
So it's gradually been decreasing every year because it started out.
With 4.
Yeah, all 5 rapes were in the first year, and I just threw in the rest of the years to throw you off. There was only
Wow.
there was one year it was one dude, he got 5 kids through our system. We were really sorry for that. Like
Yeah, I bring that up because I was one
we
of the
sent our condolences
kids.
to the family.
I was one of the kids. That's why I bring that up.
Oh, were you the one? Oh, because
Yeah.
the other 4
Well,
kids actually passed away after the incident.
I guess I'm the only one then. Because I used to walk around the mall with PictoChat up and running, and I got a message. It said, "Come over to the the bench that is right next to the GameStop." I'm like, "What?" To the oh, I see. Okay. So I'm sitting there. I'm just like, drawing away, drawing penises in PictoChat, and all of a sudden, I get grabbed by the shoulder. I look up. There's a guy. He's wearing a yellow sweater with khakis. He's like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good, sir. Do you need help with something?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna rape you." I'm like, "What's rape?" And he's like, "Oh, here, let me show you." So we went into the mall. We went into Dick's Sporting Goods, and we were in the
Yeah.
corner, right? And all of a sudden, in Dick's, I got some dick, and he raped me. Terrible, terrible experience. Luck, and you know what? The worst thing too, I
See your
lost the
first.
stylus.
What?
I lost the stylus
Where did
of
you
my
put it?
DS. Yeah, I don't know.
See, your first problem was using PictoChat in this past decade, um, because that hasn't
The
even
DS
been
has only
relevant.
been out. It hasn't. The DS came out this. Well, not this decade. I mean, at the end of this year, it's
It
been a
was
decade,
2000. It
but
was 2008 at that point. The PictoChat was made irrelevant by like the first year.
no, it was relevant until 2013,
My
because that's when
dad's the
Twitter came
boss. My
about.
dad's the boss of Nintendo, so you would know.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sorry about the incident, but it was really your fault in the end.
um, it's okay. I accept responsibility. I mean, granted, it's your dad's fault, but it's really my fault.
I mean, I wouldn't go pointing fingers, but if I was to blame anything, I think it would be your I don't know.
I agree.
To be honest, I think Dicks are to blame, or Dicks is to blame. The establishment, um, they really should have overseen that more. So
No. I agree. I agree. Um, it should definitely be a no PictoChat room, store, building. It really should. No, that's what's wrong with. Come on, what's wrong with those guys allowing people to use PictoChat?
I mean, yeah, it's ultimately up to you. Yeah, you just got to be responsible when you're using such a powerful machine, you know, in a public area.
Well, PictoChat was how I would communicate with people. Um, so, I mean, in all honesty,
See, that's why PictoChat we disowned it basically after a couple years, is because we started moving towards the whole idea of couch co-op and the fact that you don't want you communicating solely through just writing on a screen. It's more through actually like yelling and talking to each other in person while playing something on a screen.
how come your dad closed that 3DS software, Swap Note?
Way
Because I kept trying.
way too many cases of rape.
Because
I said 5.
I kept
Yeah,
trying to make like
I said
3D
5.
pictures, and wow.
I said 5 earlier, but I thought you were talking specifically about like PictoChat incidents. But when you're talking about rape overall, there have been about 1,500 incidents the past couple of years.
Okay, so
It's,
1,500. Okay, well, that's not good.
it's getting pretty bad, but I try not to get emotional about it because about 500 of those were me. So
Whoa.
it's it's a rocky part of my upbringing.
Wait, are you kidding me? Are you
No,
serious? Wait a second.
and
Nintendo's gonna have some competition. Wow. Wow,
why did you
okay.
say that?
Um, wow, okay. So you know how Hyrule Warriors just came out? That game your dad made?
Hmm.
Um, well, guess what game's coming out soon? Um,
Don't
actually, in October.
don't tell me it's Uncharted. That's like the only competition we got.
Samurai Warriors 4. Wow.
Not a
You
chance.
guys are gonna be competing. Yeah, so it comes out for PlayStation 3,
Never.
4, and Vita. You're competing against yourselves. Wow. Good job. Tell your dad good
Right.
job.
I'm like, I
Nope,
mean,
it
we
comes
don't.
out, yeah, October 21st.
We don't want to share too much of the market.
But you just put out Hyrule Warriors
Yeah, yeah.
the same month. Well, not the
I
same
don't.
month, like,
Uh,
almost, not even a month, difference between those two. So,
yeah, I mean, we got the head start on them though. We got ours out first. So.
yeah, but Hyrule Warriors didn't sell that well.
I mean, based on what VG charts.
No,
Again,
based on numbers and how much you
those,
made.
those are rigged numbers there again, because that was actually the third most best-selling video game of all time. So
Oh, right behind Super Mario Bros. For the NES.
no, no, Wind Waker HD again. Remember, because that's the
Yeah, but I mean,
best-selling
there's
Zelda
three.
game.
Yeah, there's only
That's at
two.
number. That's at number 2. Is Wind Waker HD. Number 1 is actually Pac-Man Championship Edition. It's, people overlook
Oh,
it, but
really?
we try to look past it too. But yeah, it's a reality.
So, what did your dad think about the whole lynching? The massive Nintendo lynching? The
Again, put it in skill. So it's already been disconfirmed.
it was called the Nintendo necking, from what I understand. Yeah,
Oh, the rape of the rape of lynching.
Championship Edition. Now, was it Championship Edition or Championship Edition DX?
No, DX was about I think it was like the 5th best-selling game of all time. So it wasn't that good. Number 1 is just
Mm-hmm.
Championship Edition.
Because Championship Edition DX is on Windows Phone, so I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
definitely see it then.
we try not to talk about that.
Oh, oh,
Again, I don't keep any phones, any smartphones, because I just have to smash it every time I enter the headquarters anyway.
but your dad
Not
does
that,
know
not
that
that.
Championship Edition wasn't just on the 3DS though, right? It was on Android,
No,
XBLA,
no, it's
iOS,
just on 3DS.
PSN. It was on Roku.
It was actually exclusive to 3DS. To be honest with you.
Um, I think your dad needs to get shot.
Huh? Yeah, my
Super
dad's the Boston Nintendo. He's a multimillionaire, and he's probably the most powerful man in the United States right now. So I would think about your next words very carefully.
I think your dad needs to get shot.